Another day and another Diddy update. It looks like Diddy's legal team may have had a small win today because a judge has now ruled that they must destroy his jailhouse notes, which they were utilizing, the prosecution was utilizing as a reason why Diddy should remain in their custody. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So as you guys know, I am in Los Angeles for the Kempire After Dark live experience where we talk about stories like this and we talk about reality TV. Get your tickets today for our show at the Bourbon Room tomorrow night. More information on that show, our London show on December 8th, and our DC show on January 24th will be available in the description. So I have a lot to say, and I will be sharing a lot of that during our LA show when it comes to Diddy. I don't know if you've seen it. There have been a couple of content creators that have come out and said they've been approached by private investigators on whether or not they're being paid to talk about Diddy. Well, you also know we did a separate video yesterday, and I've told you I feel like YouTube might be suppressing some of these Diddy stories. So if you missed it, I did give you an update yesterday on Diddy and some of the things that have been coming out. But in relation to some of what Diddy's legal team has been saying, that the prosecution obtained information that they were using against Diddy getting bail, they're saying that this was attorney-client privilege and that the feds were violating his rights to that. As you know, the feds said that they had a nationwide, that's important to know, a nationwide routine visit that went through everyone's cells, including Diddy's, and they obtained these notes. So now the judge in this case, Arun Subramanian, apologize for the pronunciation, has ruled against the feds. So ABC News says this: the judge overseeing the case against Sean Diddy Combs has ordered federal prosecutors to destroy several pages of Combs' handwritten notes, which they obtained from a raid carried out at the MDC Brooklyn location, where Combs is being held without bail. The judge says the government should not be in possession of the 19 pages at the end of their hour-long hearing on Tuesday. The judge made the ruling during a hearing on Tuesday where Combs flashed a big smile as he sauntered in the first time he appeared without shackles around his ankles. The defense had sought to have Combs unshackled during his court appearances, and the judge agreed to it. Combs appeared pleased to walk in so freely, smiling at people in the audience and hugging each of his lawyers. During the hearing, the defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, held a stack of notepads, folders, and papers that were initially seized from Combs' bunk and pointed out that Combs, quote, has handwritten the word legal on them. Agnifilo argued that every page from the stack is subject to attorney-client privilege. And I told you on the video that I did yesterday, they had a good argument. No matter how you feel about this case on either side, if we're just basing this and we're trying to be unbiased, they had a good argument in regards to what he might be writing that might be relevant to his case in his jail cell. So his attorney continues that virtually every single thing in this legal pads are matters he discusses with his attorneys. This has been a complete institutional failure. A member of the prosecution team disagreed. Self-labeling something, quote, legal does not automatically make it subject to the attorney-client privilege, the prosecutor, Christy Slavic, said. The government received these materials through a completely appropriate channel. We should also note that the prosecutors also said that Diddy has been breaking the Bureau of Prisons rules when it comes to using other people's PAC phone numbers. This is what they use to make their phone calls. He's been using, allegedly, I'll say, their numbers when you're not supposed to be doing that. He's been having three-way calls, okay? Prosecutors cited that Combs' notes in their argument against granting Combs bail, saying that they left a strong inference that Combs had paid off a potential witness. They're referring to, allegedly, Kalena Harper, formerly of Diddy Dirty Money. They said the judge said that he would no longer consider the example when he decides whether to release Combs on bail during a hearing this Friday. But as I mentioned to you before, there are some content creators stating that they've been approached by private investigators claiming, asking them questions about whether or not they're being paid to report on Diddy.
Patriots, this is my biggest update and titillation to date. I am not lying. I will post the video after I do this video message. I was just visited by 2 private investigators that came to my back door. I am not lying to you. I thought I was being pranked by a friend. They said, "Are you the social media influencer, Secret Service Sam?" I said, "Yes." They asked me if I was being paid by any company to do these videos on Diddy. They specifically said it was talking about Diddy. Patriots, I am now scared, literally. I am scared for my life. They came to my back door. I will post the video. These 2 gentlemen were as nice as they could be, but this is surreal. I need help from all of you. I need you to get me to a bigger, larger following so we can draw more attention to this. I am a comedian. Literally, I am a comedian doing satire on TikTok, and I had 2 private investigators who said they represent a company that was offering to pay me more money than some other company that was paying me to say this crap about. Please, Patriots, I desperately need anybody's help or information. I will post a video. They just came to my back door. What do I do? It is not safe for me to be reporting like this, but I do it for all my loyal global patriots in the movement. I love you all.
2 private investigators asking me who it is that paid me to make the Diddy videos that I made about a month ago. What? Who paid me? They asked me about Suge Knight, 50 Cent. Mind you, I do not have a connection to Diddy at all. I'm just a reporter like everybody else, speaking on public information that is readily available to anybody that makes a Google search. And the funny thing is that you would not even be able to tell that these dudes were private investigators if they didn't mention it. Just a couple of nerdy looking dudes. I invited them inside for coffee because it is cold right now in Arizona. We talked for no more than 5 to 10 minutes. They asked me where I got the information from. They asked me if anybody influenced me to make the videos through payment or coercion. They asked me if I had received threats or unusual messages related to the Diddy videos. They even asked me if I have any information that I have not yet made public, and they offered to buy this information. I told them I don't want any part of it. I'm not going to be making any more videos. Nobody paid me anything.
I will tell you this. Nobody's approached me. And no, I'm not being paid to talk about Diddy. With all that being said, it will be interesting to see whether or not the judge in Diddy's case will permit whether or not everything else that the prosecution put in their response to Diddy's appeal for bail. As you know, Diddy really has not added much of anything else, except they say they have new evidence which has not been shared with the public in regards to why he should be allowed to be free on bail. Oh, one of the other things I forgot to mention was that they brought up during this hearing the fact that the Abercrombie CEO was let out, the Eastern District of New York. Remember, we're dealing with the Southern District of New York when it comes to Diddy, but they said the Eastern District of New York, very similar cases. I did a separate video telling you how similar the Abercrombie CEO's case is to Diddy's case. And they mentioned that he was let out on a $10 million bail. What is happening here? Well, some people on the internet say, well, it's because he's a black man in America. I think 2 things can be true. I think the argument here would be that Diddy has shown a level of dangerousness that maybe they don't consider with this man. But if you read the story in regards to what he has been doing, again, it's very similar to Diddy. So if anything, I think they both should be under the jail. But I say all that to say that was also brought up during this hearing, that you allowed the Eastern District of New York, your sisters over there allowed the Abercrombie CEO to be let out on a $10 million bail. I wonder if any of these arguments, because although the prosecution did want to utilize these notes as a part of their argument, they had other things included, which we talked about in that other video, as to why Diddy should be considered dangerous. They said that he's been trying to influence the jury by his children and manipulating what they're posting on social media. They're saying he's discussing the analytics and the impact of that with them. That is not a strong argument in my case. If I was the judge, I'm not an attorney and I'm not a judge, but if I was that's not a very strong argument. And now that this other part of the story where the notes can't be considered, I mean, they have other strong arguments in regards to Diddy's dangerousness and saying that he has been breaking rules inside the jail. So what makes us think when he's outside the jail that he won't continue to break rules? At first, I did not think that Diddy had a chance of getting out of jail. I have to say now, I'm not too sure. This is a major legal win for the defense. We're going to continue to follow this case, guys. But as always, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.